Some say Tom Brady has the title of GOAT on lease.
Scans the field and lets it fly. It's Evans. It's a touchdown.
He's the GOAT. No question about it. He is the GOAT.
He doesn't own it because, inevitably, one day, Patrick Mahomes will take it. Fans, analysts, former players, all saying Mahomes is the best football player they've ever seen.
Shotgun. Mahomes fires. Touchdown. Mahomes. Touchdown. Touchdown, Kansas City.
That Tom Brady is only the greatest right now because he was born earlier. They believe Mahomes will definitely surpass Brady. Even a former teammate of Brady is saying that there's no contest, that Mahomes is miles ahead of Brady. Does this mean we already have a new GOAT? This is The Gridiron. Patrick Mahomes was born on September 17, 1995 in Tyler, Texas. Mahomes seemed destined to become a professional baseball player. His dad, Pat Mahomes Sr., was a major leaguer. He was a pitcher in the MLB for 11 years. He played for a number of teams, including the Twins, Red Sox, and Mets. Little Mahomes attended many games to watch his dad play. He had that baseball gene. And of course, Mahomes worked hard at his craft. He was an excellent baseball player in high school, so much so that after he graduated high school in 2014, Mahomes was drafted by the Detroit Tigers. Destiny was set in place. Mahomes was going to play baseball. No, of course not. Even though Mahomes was excellent at baseball in high school, he was a multi-talented athlete. He was also amazing at basketball and, obviously, football. Kansas City is really lucky Mahomes did not follow in his dad's footsteps. Mahomes was keeping his options open in both football and baseball. Not a bad idea. He was the backup on the football team his freshman year behind Davis Webb. He wasn't lighting the world on fire. Yet. His college career foreshadowed what was about to come. He was behind the starter, he wasn't playing, and then, boom, he got his chance. Davis Webb got injured and Mahomes went in. His first game starting against the Texas Longhorns wasn't special. 109 passing yards and 0 touchdowns in a loss. But how did he finish that season? In just the last 3 games, he had 1,319 passing yards and 14 touchdowns. His sophomore year, he was finally able to really light the world on fire. 4,653 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 10 rushing touchdowns, and just 15 interceptions on the season. After barely any playing time his freshman year, he blew up in his second year. His junior year even saw improvements. 5,052 passing yards, 41 passing touchdowns, 12 rushing touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions on the season. Mahomes decided he wouldn't be coming back for his senior year. He declared for the NFL. Mahomes was drafted 10th overall by the Kansas City Chiefs in 2017. However, this wasn't with the intention of him starting. The Chiefs saw vast potential in Mahomes, but noticed he was still a raw talent. Mahomes was once again in a backup role, sitting behind Pro Bowler Alex Smith. In 2017, the Chiefs had a good year, reaching a 9-6 record after Week 16 and already having the division locked up. In the last game of the season, they rested Alex Smith, so Mahomes got his first NFL start against the Broncos. He didn't throw any touchdowns, and he did throw 1 pick, but he passed for 284 yards, and when the game was tied 24-24, he drove his team down to get into position for the game-winning field goal. It was a solid debut. Once in the playoffs, Smith was starting again, and the Chiefs got bounced in the first round. But the Chiefs were happy enough with what they saw in Mahomes during that one game. They traded Smith to Washington, so 2018 would be the year of Mahomes. Once again, after minimal playing time in his rookie year, he blew up in his second year. Mahomes instantly took control of that offense like a veteran. You'd never know he was a second-year player. He passed for 5,097 yards, which was second in the league behind Ben Roethlisberger, and he threw for 50 touchdowns, which was first in the league that year. That raw talent everyone saw, it was blossoming. Mahomes showed such amazing arm talent and strength, and the angles he could throw the ball from, you could even see those baseball genes. His season was unheard of for a player in his second year.
This is our road. Everything we've been through is for this fucking moment. Everything you got, every single play, and let's find a way to win a football game. Playmakers on 3, 1, 2, 3.
But all he continued to do was keep putting out seasons and collecting accolades that were unheard of for a player so young. When someone tells you what Mahomes did in a game, usually the best thing to say in response is, unheard of. Yes, Mahomes' start was spectacular, but how has his whole career been so far? If you take the words excellent, incredible, and phenomenal and combine them, it would still not be a strong enough description. Because Mahomes is doing things that you didn't think was possible before. He's technically been in the NFL 7 seasons, but he's had 6 full starting seasons. In those 6 seasons, he's been to the AFC Championship 6 times. In those 6 years, he's also been to the Super Bowl 4 times. He's won the Super Bowl 3 times, and he's been the Super Bowl MVP all 3 of those times. And if it even matters at this point, he won regular season MVP 2 times. Side note, that first Super Bowl winning team was pretty stacked. But soon after, they lost the great Tyreek Hill. But all they did was win 2 more Super Bowls after he left, without any standout receivers. You've already been hearing how the 2023 Kansas City receiving corps was especially bad. The Chiefs were the team that led the league in drops in 2023, with 44 of them on the season. And Mahomes still managed to drag that team across the finish line. He's done this in 7 years, all by the age of 28. If he keeps this up, there's no telling what he'll accomplish. People have already stopped comparing him to other active players. He's clearly the best of them all. There's a level with Mahomes on it, and then everyone else can fight over second place. Mahomes isn't worried about current players. He's chasing ghosts right now. Everyone is too busy comparing him to legends who have since left the game. Many even comparing him to the best players in all sports. Do you know there's only 7 athletes in all of the major American sports to have won 3 championships and 2 MVPs in their first 7 seasons? Larry Bird and Bill Russell from the NBA, Guy LaFleur from the NHL, Stan Musial, Mickey Mantle, and Joe DiMaggio from the MLB, and Patrick Mahomes from the NFL. That's it. Mahomes is the only football player to have ever achieved that. It's important to remember that we're comparing him to the greatest professional players of any sport of all time, and he's on this very short list. Who else are we comparing Mahomes to? The GOAT of the NFL, of course, Tom Brady. Many say he's on pace to steal that title from Brady. Many say he's going to break all of Brady's records. Now, if he keeps up with this pace, he easily could. But let's consider how different Brady and Mahomes' styles of play are. They're almost completely opposite. Brady was all about longevity, staying in the pocket, whereas Mahomes does a lot of scrambling, a lot of running around. That is a skill that will diminish as he gets older. So when he's in his late 30s, will he still be able to play at a high level? We talked about how Mahomes was a raw talent, a kid with a big arm when he came into the league. What is he now? He's someone who has adapted. He can still sling the ball around, but he's learned how to manage the game. He's learned how to manage game situations, not beat himself, and always find the right play. He's evolved so much in just 7 years. Who's to say he won't continue to evolve? So we're doing Mahomes versus Brady. How do the two stack up against one another?
Being compared to him, but I still have so long that I have to go in my career. If you look at the longevity, the consistent greatness that he had every single year, all I can do is just try to continue to be the best me every single day.
Mahomes has played 7 seasons. How do his first 7 seasons compare to Brady's first 7 seasons? It's actually a fair comparison since they both hardly played in their first season. Mahomes has the 3 Super Bowls, Brady had 3 Super Bowls. Mahomes has 2 regular season MVPs, Brady didn't have any yet. His first came in his 8th season. Mahomes has the 3 Super Bowl MVPs, Brady had 2 at that point. Mahomes' regular season record is 74-22. Brady was 70-24. In the regular season, Mahomes has 28,424 passing yards, 219 touchdowns, and just 63 interceptions. Brady had 21,564 passing yards, 147 touchdowns, and 78 interceptions. The only things Brady had more of were losses and interceptions. Not exactly making a strong case for yourself here, Brady.
What do you think one of the biggest mistakes you ever made is? Oh, biggest mistake I ever made. Good question. I don't know. Is anything really a mistake?
What does this tell you about Mahomes versus Brady in their first 7 years? When asked to compare the two early in their careers, a former teammate of Brady, Damian Woody, said, "Not even close." He played with Brady right alongside him, and he knows Brady is phenomenal. But he also knows what he is seeing from Mahomes is even better. If Mahomes can keep this up, then the GOAT title Brady is leasing will be up for sale in a decade or so. Mahomes is looking to purchase it, own it, and tuck it away somewhere where no one will ever get to it.